Brothers and sisters, today's sermon uh, is, well, today in our segment, Looking for God in All the Wrong Places, we are going to break down the Lenny Kravitz hit, Are You Gonna Go My Way? Okay. It is from the album of the same name, released in 1993. Okay, and for those of you who are hip like me, you know that that song appears in Gran Turismo 3, A-Spec, uh, and it also appears in uh, two other things. So I guess I'm not that hip. I only remember that. Oh, it's two other movies. I can't remember now. But the point is, uh, the song is very popular, and most people are paying attention when he sings it because they had no idea that he is singing about Jesus. That's right. This is a Jesus song sung by the guy with the bulge in his leather pants. Yes, I did not realize that. I had to ask my wife why she liked him so much. And she had no idea what he looked like. I asked her, I said, was it his hair? She goes, he has hair? I said, what, is it his tone, his skin tone? She goes, he has skin? I said, what do you like about him? And Mona goes, those black leather pants. I said, I have black leather pants. And she goes, yeah, but they don't shape like those. I was like, they used to. I got old. So look forward to you being old too, Lenny Kravitz. Yeah, that's what I say. I hope you live long like me. That's right. See how sexy you are in about 25 years. All right. Now, people say, wait a second. How do you know that that's a Jesus song? Now, there's like two other songs on the album that are one is called Believe, another Jesus song, and Heaven Help. And people are going, I don't understand. I thought he was Jewish. Why has he got so many Jesus songs for a Jewish guy? And the answer is maybe it's in another song. I mean, I've heard of Jews for Jesus, and now I don't know that he's an observant Jew. I have no idea. But let's get to the song. This is not about Lenny Kravitz because I'm tired of talking about Lenny Kravitz anyway. Let's talk about his song. Okay. The opening verse, the first two lines of Are You Going to Go My Way? Mm-mm-mm. The first two lines are I was born long ago. That's right. I was born long ago. I am the chosen. I'm the one. Okay. Now, most people, that line just skips right on by them. Here, Kravitz is speaking in the first person, as if he is Jesus. I am chosen. I am the one. I was born long ago. I, first person. Okay. Now, according to many Christian traditions, Jesus is the second person in the Trinity. So, speaking in the first person about the second person, is this a mistake? Is it a misdirect? Is it divine orientation? Or Lenny taking dictation? Like Jesus was talking to him and he's writing it down. I don't know. We're going to have to work that out. Lenny continues in the first person still. The entire first verse is in the first person. It continues. I have come to save the day, and I won't leave until I'm done. That's right. I have come to save the day. Now, that's an admission that things are not going well. Now, why does the day need to be saved? And what is he going to do to save the day? Now, those of you of a certain age may remember a certain hero. Here I come to save the day. All right. Mighty Mouse. That was his line. Here I come to save the day. Now, does Jesus have the same kind of song? Or is this just a warning, just a little whisper? You know, I have come to save the day. I'm not going to brag about it. I've just come to save the day. See, Mighty Mouse was small, and he had to let everybody know that that's why he was there, because people would look around and not see him anyway. And so he's saying, here I come to save the day. Jesus is a lot bigger, and he doesn't have to give the same kind of yelling. He just shows up and saves the day and then leave, because he's humble like that. Maybe. We'll see. And he says, and I won't leave until I'm done. So, how many days is he going to save? One at a time? One day at a time? And how many people? He says he's not leaving. So, if we go back to the first verse, the beginning of the first verse, where it says, I was born long ago, I am the chosen one, I am the chosen, I am the one. I have come to save the day. Now, I have come. Now, this is the point. This is the thing that's a sticking point. Is he coming today? Or he's still talking about long ago? That's when he came. I came long ago to save the day, and I'm not leaving till I'm done. But if you follow tradition, he has left and has to return for the next age. So, I won't leave until I'm done. This must be a reference to a second coming. And so he's saying, I'm here now. So those are people waiting for a second coming. They're too late. He's here, working. And he's not leaving until everything is done. So somebody in there is wrong or misinterpreted. And I'm not going to say Lenny Kravitz is wrong, because this is his song. He's the host today, his song. I'm not going to critique it. I'm not going to say he's wrong. I'm just going to say something's not right. But he continues. So that's why you've got to try. Okay? You got to breathe and have some fun. Now, this is a funny thing. Jesus says, I'm here to save the day. I'm here to make things right. But that's why you've got to try. Okay? So what are we trying to do? Are we helping? Are we like trying to clean up a mess? Are we trying to keep faith? What are we trying to do? And it says, you've got to breathe and have some fun. Now, breath is very important in the spiritual world. Okay? Breathing, in some sects of religion, sects, some sects, the breath of life, when you breathe in, you're breathing in the spirit of God. You're breathing in. Okay, it's like when they said God created man and he breathed the spirit of life into him. It says you've got to breathe. Okay, so take in the spirit. Okay, you've got to try. You've got to take in the spirit and have some fun. I don't know how you do both. Now, unless fun is just his way of saying find joy in doing Jesus's work. You know, go around, knock on doors. Hey, I'm doing Jesus' work. Hey, the good news, I'm doing Jesus' work. You know, or maybe you're just out there. Maybe you're doing his work, but you're on a pole. You're dancing. You're like, hey, everybody, I'm dancing for Jesus. Yeah. And this isn't just a pole, it's the bottom of the cross. That's right. Woo, Lord. Yeah, indeed. Yo, woo. Have some fun with his work. That's what he's saying, I think. Of course, everybody has their own idea of what fun is. That was my idea of fun. I'm smiling, see, because I thought that was fun. Some of you think, what the fuck? That's because that's not your idea of fun. What is your idea of fun for Jesus? Whatever it is, do that. Breathe and have fun. He continues, though I'm not paid, I play this game, and I won't stop until I'm done. Again, he's persistent that he's got work to do, and he's not quitting. He's not quitting, okay? Right now, this part of the song should be a kick in the gut to many people, because Jesus is saying that he's not paid, Okay, so where's all the money that churches are collecting going? If they're not paying Jesus and he's doing most of the heavy lifting, where's that money going? Okay, some of it goes to charity, but we know where most of it's going. We've seen the jets, we've seen the limos, we've seen the drivers, we've seen the private pools and mansions. So why are they getting paid and Jesus is not when Jesus is doing most of the work? Okay, that's just a question. That's just a question for those of you who are giving money to those mega churches. That's just a question. If Jesus isn't getting paid, why should they? Now it says, I play this game. All right. Now, I guess this goes back to having fun, or also, quite often, things that are of difficulty, let's say politics, there's a little corruption in it. And people often don't say, I am a politician, or that they're saying they're playing the game. Okay, not like sport, not just sport, but there's politicking involved, there's maneuvering involved, there's manipulation involved. They're playing the game. Okay, I play this game. Now I know that I should not use the word in the definition, but I'm trying to get you to understand how people are using the game. And maybe that's why he's using it this way as well. There's a lot of politicking in the religion world. Okay. Different sects are fighting for control, not fighting for souls, fighting for control. And they're not just trying to help souls, they're trying to control minds, and they're trying to raise money, and they're trying to divide people as well. But again, he really reiterates, I'm not going to stop until I'm done. Okay. Now, if Jesus is not getting paid, okay, at least not in cash, is there like a heavenly reward? A reward, not a payment. It's like, I'm not paid, but I'm getting a reward. I'm being compensated. I was looking in the Bible, and I don't believe anywhere that Jesus says he is rewarded. He says we are rewarded. Doesn't claim to be paid or rewarded. It's like, I'm doing this. I got to do this. People are being rewarded for their faith. And technically, Jesus is not a man of faith. Faith means believing in something that you can't prove or you don't know. You're not certain, so you believe. Are you telling me that Jesus doesn't know that there's a God? Really? And if he knows there's a God, then he doesn't have to believe there's a God because he knows. Therefore, he is not a person of faith. Therefore, he is not like us who are asked to act on faith because he knows. See, those who know do not believe. You can't. If you know, that's not believing, that's knowing. Okay? If you're believing, you have doubts. And I believe that nowhere in the Bible does Jesus say he's rewarded. He says we are. Again, I was looking really, really hard. I was looking so hard that I think I gave my Bible erectile dysfunction. That's how hard I was looking. Now, Jesus, like I said, as far as I know, Jesus does not claim to have a heavenly reward, just one for us. Now, Paul, okay, in Galatians claims that Jesus is rewarded in heaven, but fuck Paul. Paul never met Jesus, okay, and Paul had his issues, so we're not talking about Paul. This is about looking for the Lord in all the wrong places. And if you're looking for the Lord in Paul, you're looking in the wrong place. No problem. No, sorry to offend you. No, I'm not. So let us go to the chorus, okay, the chorus. But what I really want to know is, okay, what I really want to know, and Jesus is saying, I'm doing all this stuff. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm not getting paid. I'm working. But I want a reassurance. Are you going to go my way? Are you going to follow me? Okay. So apparently he's not doing it for free. He wants something in return, at least some kind of following, because if he didn't want followers, he wouldn't ask. Okay. It's like TikTok, or it's like YouTube, where at the end of a video, you hit, please like and subscribe. Jesus right here is saying, please like and subscribe. Okay. What I really want to know is, are you going to go my way? Are you going to like and subscribe? That's all he wants. So he wants followers. Okay. Just like everybody else on the social medias. But how do you let Jesus know that you're going to go his way? Not Yahweh, not Kurdzin way, not Way Wu way. Now, for those of you who do not know what Way Wu way is, Way Wu way is a philosophy where you have considered all of the options, all of the things that you can do, all of the actions that you can take, and you decided that the best thing to do is nothing. So you looked at all your options, all the things. There's a situation here, and there's a lot of things that you can do in this situation, in this circumstance. And you look and you go, I thought about it. The best thing for me to do is nothing. That is Way Wu way. But that is not what Jesus is asking. Jesus is asking us to take an action, to like and subscribe, to be a follower. And then once you do become a follower, then he wants your help. Okay? It is not a passive. Christianity is not meant to be passive. It's meant to help. It's a call of action to take care of those less than yourselves. Okay? Call of action. And that's how you show that you're a follower, by your actions. And hopefully your actions will mimic those of the Jesus. Now, in the second verse, Kravitz switches perspective. He's no longer talking like he's Jesus. He's talking like he's a person who himself wants to follow Jesus, but he's confused about some of the things he's seeing. It says right here, I don't know why we always cry. This we must leave and get undone. Okay? I don't know why we always cry. Now, in the first verse, I don't think there was a we mentioned, not one we, I don't think. There was I and you, I and you, I and you. Now we're talking we. Okay. Totally different perspective. We went from I and you to we. I don't know why we always cry. This we must leave and get undone. Now, why we always cry, and then says we must leave. Okay, leave the tears behind us. Stop crying. I know we're always crying, but we have to stop crying and get undone. Now, getting undone, Kravitz does this a lot. He uses phrases that in a literal sense do not make sense. And so you have to look to see how he's applying the following lines after that, and get undone. So let us look at the next verse. The next verse is, we must engage and rearrange and turn this planet back to one. Okay, that's the getting undone. Okay, it says getting the planet back to one, back to unity, back to oneness, back to wholeness. That's what we have to get undone. Right now, we're separated. Okay, we're separated. We're fighting amongst ourselves, and we have to get back to a unity. But here's a problem with that. We did not start the division. No. As a matter of fact, we were at one time was divided. I mean, we were united. So united that it scared God. That's right. See, if you remember back in your Old Testament, there was this thing called the Tower of Babel. Okay. And why did the Tower of Babel work? Because people were working together to build a tower so that they could see God and reach God. Okay. And now, I don't know how tall the tower was. It got tall enough that God felt threatened. So I don't know if God is just that insecure or if it was just a lower God. Like there's like so many levels, and there's like this one God down here that was low enough that if they built the tower just a little bit more, they would have reached him. But at any rate, they were united. The people were united. They were working together. They spoke one tongue. They had one purpose, to meet God. And God goes, oh, wait, you're getting a little too close. Bam, tower gone. Bam, separate tongues. Bam, separate ways. Bam, separate cultures. Bam, you're getting out of Africa and you're going north and south and east and west. Bam. It was not us who caused the division. No, not if you believe in the literal translation. It was not us. No, we did not do that. So I guess that's why God said, I got to bring the unity back. And that's what the Jesus is supposed to be for. But it's not just the Jesus. There's many, many, many avatars. Okay. Jesus was just one of many avatars that was sent to this place. We're going to talk about, like I said, the Jesus for right now. So tell me why we got to die and kill each other one by one. I just told you. Well, then here's the thing. To be honest, we don't have to kill each other one by one. The problem is this a design flaw? Usually when people kill each other, it's over jealousy, resources, stuff like that. But the first murder, when Cain killed Abel, it was out of jealousy. There was no shortage of resources. There was a whole fucking planet and only a handful of people. It's not like Cain goes, whoa, if he eats, I'm not going to have enough food. Nope, not a problem. Matter of fact, I don't even think they were in the same business. I think one was like cropping and the other one was like animalizing. One was like into animals, the other was into plants. They didn't even have competing businesses. Their business models were totally different. There was no reason for one to kill the other except for jealousy. Okay, that's it. But there were so few people, and if we were made in God's image, is God like that? Or are we just a really poor reflection? My question is it a design flaw that we kill? It's just or is it an admiration? Admiration, not admiration, an abomination? Is it something else? Is it a design flaw or an anomaly? But if it was an anomaly, that means after that one kill, it should have stopped, but it didn't. It's almost like a lion cub gets a taste of his blood and now it wants to hunt all the time. Cain drew blood, and now people want to hunt and kill all the time, but not all people. Like I said, is it a design flaw? And who made the design? But again, this is not Jesus talking. This is Kravitz questioning. He wants to know, why do we have to kill each other one by one? And he's pleading. He's making a plea. In his next verse, he says, we've got to hug. We've got to hug, embrace. Okay. And he's referring to each other. We've got to hug each other and rub a dub. Okay. The line says, we've got to hug and rub a dub. We've got to dance and be in love. That's the verse right there. We've got to hug and rub a dub, and we've got to dance and be in love. Now, we know what hugging is. That's the hug. We got to do that. Embrace one another. But rub a dub. Okay. Now, this is where we have to do a little bit of research into his his life. What is rub a dub? When we are children, there's this thing that says rub a dub dub, 3 men in the tub. Remember that one? Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in the tub. Now, I don't know what those men were doing in the tub. But the point is, if that's what he's talking about, rubber-dubbing is cleansing. We have to cleanse each other, okay? We cleanse each other. We hug each other. We cleanse each other. We wipe away our sins. Okay, we can't, kind of like what God's supposed to do, but our perspective of what people have done to wrong us. Okay, we wash away those things that we think people have done to us, not necessarily the things that they have done. Because sometimes we feel wronged when we really have not been wronged. We just perceive an action as a wronging towards us. This happens a lot with comedians. They'll say something, a joke that's just meant to be funny, and most people think it's funny, and then somebody will go, but you just hurt me. And it wasn't on purpose. And first of all, the comedian could not hurt you. Okay, you decided to be hurt by that. And that's what I'm talking about in the cleansing. You need to cleanse and forgive people for things that you just think they did to you that they didn't necessarily do to you. You just think they did it. So now we've got to hug and rub-a-dub. We've got to dance and be in love. Okay. Oh, that's deep. I think I could spend like another 20 minutes on rubber-dubbing. Because that's heavy. But after that line, after the rubber-dub, he goes back to the chorus. Okay. But what I really want to know is, are you going to go my way? Now, because he switched from talking like Jesus to talking like Lenny, he says, are you going to follow me, Lenny? Are you going to follow me? Okay. Because Jesus didn't say rubber-dub. There was no language like that. Jesus' language was more plain and simple. But Lenny Kravitz's language, he was always like saying things like get undone, you have to figure out what he means. And rubber-dub, you got to figure out what he means. Okay, his language was more plain and simple. I'm here, I'm going to get some work done, and are you going to follow me? And Kravitz is like, look, I'm struggling, but I want to love people, and I'm struggling, but are you going to follow me in my struggles? Okay, are you going to, just like me, struggle and follow me while I follow Jesus? Which is kind of convoluted. Why not just follow Jesus? Why follow Lenny Kravitz? But that's beside the point. Because we're getting close to the end of the song where it says right here, are you, okay, well, he invites us. He invites us. He says, come on, are you going to go my way? No, I'm sorry. Are you going to go my way? And I got to know, come on, okay, come on, come on. One word, come on. And then finally, are you going to go my way? Because, baby, I got to know. Yeah. Are you going to go my way? Baby, I got to know. Yeah. Now, again, how do you follow someone? It's with actions. Now, that became a #1 hit in like 2 countries and like #4 in a few others. So a lot of people was following Lenny Kravitz. They just didn't know where they were following him to, because they did not know that this was a Jesus song, but they followed it all the way to #1. That's right. So how many people are going to go, wow, I did not know that. I'm a Buddhist. Okay, I did not know that. I'm a Zoroastrian. I did not know that. I'm a Hindu. And I did. So that's the breakdown. Lenny Kravitz's Are You Going to Go My Way? Now, I don't know if I've solved anything for you. I just want to open the discussion. Okay? And thank you, Sister Ann. Thank you, Sister Ann. I don't know which part is too funny. And I hope I don't get penalized for too funny.